like the idea of it being like sitting low on the hips like this, but then I don't really like the shape it creates. And I think it just needs to sit at the top of my hip, like on the hip bone. And then it will just be a little bit more, yeah, it's just a little bit neater, but it doesn't go full pencil, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't want it high-waisted. I just want it to sit, rather than like middle of my hips, I just want it to sit like on the hip bone. So I think I might just get the tiniest little bit just pulled in around the back. And then it just kind of pulls it in a little bit round here as well, but it's still quite loose. And then, I mean, I've got a jumper tucked in now, so then if I untuck the jumper, it will sit that tiny little bit lower. Yeah, that would be much better, just that little bit. And then these trousers, length. As always, it's length that is the issue for me. Waist is great, hips great, round the back, really nice. I just need a little bit taken off the bottom. I still want them to pull, but I just don't want them to pull this much. It's just a bit, there's too much fabric at the bottom there. So I just think maybe like 1 hem or 1.5. Maybe 1.5. I'll get him to pin them. But they are kind of like designed to taper and then pull a little bit. Just don't want them pulling this much on me. I've also got shoes that need to go to the cobbler. These GH Bass loafers, I feared were past the point of no return because I've worn them so much that they've got holes in, and then I've continued to wear them, and now there is damage to the part of the shoe that sits under the sole, if you know what I mean. It's not good. I shouldn't have done this. I should have taken them to the cobbler as soon as the holes appear, but because I wear them so much, I was just like, I cannot be without them. But now I feel like I've made even the damage even worse. There is now another hole appearing on these. Like, it's not good. And I thought about buying a new pair, but these have like moulded to my feet so perfectly, and the leather's still in great condition. The heel is fine. It's just those holes. So I'm going to take them to the cobbler, see what they say. I'm sure they'll be able to work their magic. Susie, do you know? A very weird noise just came from the other room. I'm sure they'll be able to work some sort of magic and they'll come back looking like a brand new pair of shoes. And then my new boots from the row, because it's that classic case of the leather sole. I've only worn them maybe like 4 or 5 times, and I don't like how quickly that sole is wearing down, and they're already starting to look a bit chewed up around the front, and I don't like it when that happens either. I feel like that happens with tabbies quite a lot, which I see people all the time. Even before they wear a pair of tabbies, they put the rubber sole underneath, and I should have done that with these, but I've paused wearing them. And I'm going to just, get it all neatened up and a rubber sole put on the bottom there. And then I can stomp around in them. So yeah, 2 things to the tailor, 2 things to the cobbler. All 4 things I'm very excited to get back because I really want to wear these. I want to wear the skirt. I want to stomp around in my boots. I wear my loafers all the time. This is self-care. I feel like taking things to get them repaired or, altered is a form of self-care, because the person the other side that picks up, the version of me that picks up my shoes and my skirt and trousers is going to be so pleased with past self. It's definitely looking less of a mess in here. Everything is ready for plaster. The only thing we actually do need to do in this section is like the picture rail is still there in places, and there's nails in the walls and stuff. Like, this section isn't quite plaster ready, but this new part will be plastered first, and then it will be the old section afterwards. So yeah, all ready to go. Electrics are in. We are doing a shadow gap instead of skirting, so there'll be no having to sort out skirting or anything else after plaster. We can just paint and then it will be done. That reminds me, I need to order the fronts for all of the plugs and the switches actually. But yeah, I feel like the The very last thing that will really tie it all together is obviously getting our proper windows in here. Yeah, it's so much nicer now. Hey Susie. Not to be dramatic or anything, but January is kicking my ass now. I am so pleased that it's the final week of the month, although I still can't believe there's 5 days left of this month to go. Like it just keeps going. So if anyone else has just absolutely had it with January, I feel you. Last week, everything that could go wrong this month went wrong in the space of 4 days last week. And then at the end of it all, I had this day planned with Abby, which I was so looking forward to. We were like, right, let's have a day where we like really strategize for the year and get ourselves like feeling excited about things and like plan creative things. And then I got stuck on a train for 5 hours. 2 of those hours, the train didn't move. I mean, this couldn't be more British. It was so windy that a tree fell on the tracks and pulled down the overhead cables with it. So yeah, we got stuck for 2 hours, just could not move because obviously we couldn't go forward, and there was obviously trains behind us along the line, so we couldn't go back. And then after that 2 hours, they made a decision that all trains just had to go back to their origin station. So I just went back to Norwich. I got on the train at 10:30 and then got back at 4 o'clock. I think, yeah. So it was quite a productive time on the train. I read a lot, I listened to podcasts, but yeah, I just spent my Friday on a train. So then I was like, right, I'm just going to stay home Saturday and Sunday because that way nothing can go wrong. And I'm not doing any train travel this week. So yeah, I am very, like this vlog will go live. By the time it goes live, it'll be February. Anyway, something very serendipitous did happen last week though. Literally a day after I uploaded the last vlog, a Pleats Please skirt presented itself to me in a size 4. I was like, is this manifesting? From this Sept. She has a website, an Instagram page and a vestiaire page, which I'll all link. Just sells like the best secondhand stuff, like so good. And yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, I literally just said a few days ago that I wanted to find this secondhand, and then it presented itself to me in the size I was looking for. So I did say it was between a 4 and a 5, didn't I? And a 5 looked nice with the boots, but I just don't think it was going to be right with other shoes, whereas I felt like the 4 was better in length. And then I was thinking, actually, if I wanted it shorter, I could roll it up. Anyway, I'm so pleased with this. I think this is going to get worn a lot, just based on how much I wear the trousers. I think this potentially could get worn even more than the trousers. So yeah, I'm hoping there might be some other like serendipitous finds, you know, like some other things might present themselves to me in the next few weeks. This week, I'm trying to think what I might have going on. I'm going to go to the tailor and pick up those things that I took, which is always quite nice because when you get things back from the tailor, it's like, oh, finally, the things fit the way I wanted them to fit. And then today I've got a laptop day today because I've got a few like mood boards that I need to put together for some projects. Got some quite nice projects coming up actually in the next month for a couple of brands, like sponsored content going on over Instagram, I think. So just putting together like some creative concepts. So yeah, I'm not sure what else will be happening this week. Just no train travel. I'm off to Paris next week, and I don't really want to like, I don't know, I just want to be home because I know I'll be away for a couple of days next week. So this week I just want to be at home, try and get some like more organic content shot for like Instagram maybe. Not really done like some outfits or anything lately, so maybe I'll do that if the weather's nice. And then just continue running because I'm on quite a good thing with that at the moment. This scared me so much. So the marsh is completely open for any of the animals that are in the marsh to roam around, and I've never actually seen any of the animals roaming freely until now. This really scared me. I'm actually like too scared to go past them. Like that, I don't know, they're so big. Like that's quite scary to me. I think I might turn around. Right, one of them has crossed, the one that was staring at me. This one hasn't. I'm hoping it might cross. Oh my god, there's more over there. Okay, quite a few more cows appeared, so I know another route to get around them. I googled like how to walk past cows, and I mean, I'm sure it's completely fine. I'm on my own and there is absolutely no one else around, and they're so big, and there's about 6 of them there now, all just like stood next to each other in a line. They're like lining the path. Here we go. I think I can go around this way. But that's the first time I've seen, like, there's signs around the marsh saying that they are about, and there's plenty of cow poo to prove that they're around. I've never actually seen them. That was pretty cool. Can I go down here? It's such nice weather. Okay, such nice weather for a run. Like, it's quite cold, but the sun's out. Beautiful sunset as well. Like, this is what gets me excited for like Feb and March, like running around like 3:30, 4 o'clock just as the sun is setting and everything's golden, and I don't know, it just like the running high is even better then. Okay, I've gone down a route that I've never been before, and now, oh, I think I know where I am. Yeah, this is what like gets me excited for running, is those like crisp golden hours. I am off to the dentist this morning, and I can't quite believe I'm saying this, but I'm quite looking forward to it. Mainly because it's the end of Invisalign for me. I'm picking up my retainer today. Where are my gold earrings gone? If one of you guys moved them... Oh, what was that? I am picking up my retainer. They're just going to show me how to do... I've just asked for like a tiny bit of teeth whitening, just like a couple of shades whiter. Don't worry, not extreme whiteness. I'm not going to blind you through the screen. It's just a touch, you know. But yeah, this is it. This is the end of Invisalign, and it has taken a lot longer than was originally planned. There have been several hiccups along the way. I even had to change dentists. I always do this. I take all my jewellery off and I put it down, and I don't know where I've put it. Anyway, yeah, I had to change dentists at one point. That was quite a process, but I'm finally here. And even though it has taken a long time and there have been issues along the way, I am so pleased with the end result. Like, the confidence I have now when smiling, just talking to people, is huge. And I think I said this when I first got Invisalign. It was the one thing I just was so hyper focused on and couldn't get over, like this insecurity about my teeth. I rarely smiled properly in photos. If I did see any photos of me smiling, I was just like, absolutely not posting that. I don't even want to look at that. I was even going through my camera roll recently to try and do like a before and after, and I couldn't find any photos of me like properly smiling with teeth on show. Like maybe a few with like front few teeth, but not like a proper smile. Even when I was like, if I would be laughing in like a group setting, I'd be just very conscious of my teeth. And like I said, it was just one of those things that I just couldn't get past, even though I know no one notices these things. But unfortunately, it was the one thing I was so hung up on about. But now I don't think about it at all. If anything, I'll look at a photo and be like, oh, your teeth look really nice. But it's not like a hang up at all. Like now I just feel so much more at ease when I'm speaking to people, when I'm laughing, smiling, when I'm editing content. I'm just like, yeah, I don't look at my face in the same way I used to. And it's the tiniest tweak, barely noticeable, but because I had a lot of teeth kind of twisted on the side, now that they've been moved back round, it's just slightly created a little bit more balance along my jaw. Not that I'm trying to seek out perfect symmetry with my face. I mean, that's not going to happen with a face like mine. But I feel like it's just altered it a little bit, just a touch. So yeah, we're gonna go get them. And then, because I feel like I need a treat after the dentist, even though I'm not going through any like harrowing treatment, I had to, when I had the attachments taken off recently, my mouth was like fully clamped open, which was lovely. And then I had to have all these like photos taken where they like, you know, when they get those like metal things and they like pull your mouth open. I was like, I do not want to see those photos. Thank you. And here is what I'm going to wear to the dentist. In my opinion, today is the perfect winter's day. It is crisp and there is not a cloud in the sky. This little colour combo is very reminiscent of something I would have worn a few years back. Remember when I just would always wear a blue jumper with like a grey coat and white jeans? This reminds me of that. I really like the warm grey with the vibrant blue. This is Roe. This is Ray. These are Studio Nicholson, definitely leaning a bit more burgundy in real life. And this blue is so vibrant, it doesn't look real. It leans kind of purple because it is so vibrant. Levi's 501s that I got on Etsy a few years back. Suede deck shoes, because finally the rain has stopped and I can actually get away with wearing suede shoes along with my terrace. I love this bag and I think it's so beautiful in the nubuck. But obviously there are limitations of a nubuck bag. Some might say I'm foolish buying a bag in nubuck, particularly in this country, but it's just so beautiful. And I obviously I'm taking great care with it. All my bags I look after and keep them in as pristine condition as I can. But I do like the idea of a bag that really sort of like shows its wear and its age and starts to patina. And I think that's what this nubuck will do. You can already see there are some really nice patches of kind of like wear, and I just think it will just really just wear beautifully, basically. And Leo Studio earrings. I'm currently sat on the bed doing some computer admin whilst Juno has a little snooze next to me. Part of my computer admin today is ordering samples for the floor in the spare room. I ordered a bunch of samples from Havwoods because our floor in the lounge is from them and we love it. It's an oak mosaic floor and it came raw, completely untreated, and then we just oiled it ourselves to get the desired colour. So we were like, let's go with Havwoods again because we were really pleased with the floor and the service. But this time we're not doing anything like patterned, you know, no mosaic or herringbone or anything like that. We're just doing a very classic wood floor. And I got all these samples with different like colours and treatments on them and stuff, and I was looking at them and I was like, oh, none of them are quite right, I'm going to have to order some more. And I just was like, oh, we're going to have to go through this whole process of just ordering all these samples and me not being able to make a decision, because that's what happens. I end up with just too many samples, none of them are quite right, and then I'm just like paralysed with indecisiveness. Anyway, we're looking at these samples and then it just kind of dawned on us that actually, why don't we order just a raw oak floor and then treat it ourselves again and get the desired look ourselves, because we know, you know, more or less we know how to do this now. We've done it so many times throughout the house and we've had so many instances where it like there's been a lot of trial and error basically, so we know how to get what we want to get now. And so yeah, I'm just ordering a few different samples because I just kind of want to see, I guess, engineered oak versus solid oak. Solid oak is going to be more expensive than engineered oak, and actually engineered oak is probably better in terms of like the longevity of the floor, because when you have a solid oak floor or any solid wood floor, wood moves, so you end up with just like gaps appearing and stuff like that. The idea with an engineered wood floor is that doesn't happen. But I also am just looking at like different widths, because I'm finding that the standard width now is quite wide, and I'm looking at the floorboards throughout our house and I would quite like it to be narrow like those. So I'm having to just do a bit more searching to find the narrow width that I would like. But yeah, that's the plan now. We'll just get a completely natural oak floor and then put our own desired finish on it, because like I was looking at all these floor samples from Havwoods and I was like, all of these are just oak and they've put their own treatment on,
And if we put our own treatment on, it makes it a lot cheaper. So that's the plan. And I think, because like, I'd quite like it to be quite pale. So I think we will probably put Osmo Raw on it, perhaps. We'll do some testing, but we've used so many different types of Osmo throughout the house. Osmo Raw is the one that we have used the most and been most pleased with. So yeah, that's what I'm currently doing. And then I need to order radiators as well. Thankfully, we're just going to get the same radiators as throughout the house. That was one of the things that I'm really glad we didn't actually kind of invest a lot of money in, is radiators. I mean, don't get me wrong, I really like how, you know, like a cast iron radiator looks. But I don't, if I'm honest, I don't particularly want to draw attention to them. It was the same with like switches and stuff. I think sometimes I think the idea of doing like fancy switches everywhere is really nice. But again, I was like, do I really want to draw attention to these things? No. So we just bought these like really subtle, like they're so just unnoticeable plug and switch faces, and then we spray painted them the same colour as our walls so that they blend in even more. And we did the same with the radiators. We spray painted all of our radiators with like a spray paint specifically for that can be used on radiators, and they look great. We've got nice valves and stuff, but the radiators themselves they're just like a really simple column radiator, but not cast iron. But I think by spray painting them, it just makes them look less noticeable and actually makes them look a bit more expensive and fancier than they actually are. I think we just bought them off eBay. So yeah, I need to do that. What else do I need to do for that room? I need to find a light, as in a pendant light. I mean, it's not urgent. To be honest, the wall lights are more urgent than the pendant light, I think. But I'll talk about my homeware list shortly, because the lights and that I'm kind of considering are on that.
For those of you that like a chatty vlog, I'm really treating you in this one, aren't I? And it's probably just going to continue to be a very chatty vlog. I am not going to go through my entire homeware wish list because I feel like we will be here for the best part of the week. What I am going to do is do this type of thing on a room by room basis, as and when we kind of get to the stage where we are starting to shop for things. So at the moment, we're really focusing on that wardrobe room. So I'll show you some things that we're considering for that room, and also for our existing spare room, because at the moment our spare room is kind of like a mishmash of storage. So once the new wardrobe room is done, we'll move things over into there, like all of our clothes, and then the existing spare room will become more of like a guest room / kind of just nice room to be in. And because we originally thought about just turning it into this lovely guest bedroom, just buying a bed and having it all dressed, but in reality we probably won't have people staying that regularly, so it just felt like that room would end up being something that didn't really get used. So we're now thinking sofa bed, because this way it can be a room that you can just like relax in, maybe put a TV in there. And I recently came across Slow Living, and as soon as I saw these sofa beds, I was like, yes, that is exactly what we should get for this room. I've got some fabric samples on the way. Immediately drawn to the walnut because the floors in there are such a light wood. I like the idea of the contrast between the dark and the light woods. But yeah, we're just gonna have a look at some of the fabrics and make a decision from there. But yeah, I love the really high back. I love how low it is. I like the way it opens out. I just think it will look really, really nice in the space, and it will be such a nice, sofa to sit on when it's not a sofa bed. So that feels like it's moved from wish list to like confirmed list, if you know what I mean. So for the wardrobe room, the plan is, as you walk in at the back there, you're going to see floor to ceiling wardrobe. Here are some inspirational pictures that I've collected. There will be storage elsewhere in the room, but the main kind of showstopper is that wardrobe at the back there. And then you've got the dual aspect oak windows. So there's going to be a lot of warm wood. Then we're thinking rug in the middle with like a kind of ottoman bench thing, not a sofa, something that you can sit on from all sides. It's sounding like a shop changing room, which is, yeah, that's kind of, I guess, what I have in my head. Frustratingly, I can't quite envision what this ottoman is. I keep looking at things and I'm like, it's not that, it's not that, it's not that. It's like a big thing that you can sit on, but it's, I don't know, it will come to me eventually, and then I'll have this task of trying to find some impossible to find kind of ottoman thing. I feel like that's probably going to be one of the harder things to source for that space. Rugs, however, got plenty of rugs on the wish list. So in our house, we've got 2 Nordic Knots rugs. We've got the green grand, can't remember which green, we've got the moss grand underneath this dining table here. And then we've got the walnut upstairs in our bedroom. Love them both, love the colours. They feel really nice. So very tempted to get another grand in one of the neutral colours, maybe like the sand or the dusty white. I am also quite drawn to this deep blue because of the amount of warm wood that will be in that room. I'm like, that cool tone of that blue could actually work really nicely with all of that really warm wood. So yeah, 2 very different ideas there, neutral versus deep blue. I also love this new style that they recently released, the pavilion, but I don't know if it's too warm to be going with all of the wood that we might have in there. Also need to think about how this will be like a high traffic area. Well, not high traffic, it's not like people are going back and forth, but it is an area that we will walk around in quite a lot. And I feel like the texture of this park style could potentially be a bit more hard wearing. I love the dusty white, and I also love the almond. And the more I look at that, I'm really drawn to it because of that texture. I quite like that. Love this grid one as well. But the colour I'm drawn to is this burnt orange. And again, I'm like, is it too warm toned? And then, last but not least, do you know what's drawn me to this one? It's the imagery, it's the way they've styled it in the room that they've put it in. And I need to remember that we do not have a room that looks like that. We do not have this grand fireplace and ceiling heights that are like 4 times the size of what we actually have. But because it's with all that wood, I'm like, man, that looks so good. So I would say the 2 I'm drawn to the most are the park and the pavilion. Then I've been thinking a lot about the hardware on the wardrobe because it's going to be like this big wall of wood almost. I think some hardware is needed. We have some handles on our bookcase from Spaces Within, and they're beautiful, and I love the little doorknobs that they do. So they could potentially look quite nice. I am also obsessed with Petra hardware at the moment. I go on there and I get choice paralysis because there's so much good stuff. But I currently have this like half circle doorknob bookmarked. Love these hooks as well. Not sure where I would use them, but I love these. And I also quite like this little hemisphere cupboard knob as well. But I feel like hardware is a detail that is something I'm prepared to invest in. Like, we did it with the wardrobe, and I was so pleased we did because not wardrobe, bookcase, sorry, because I felt like it really was that finishing touch. So I do really want some nice hardware on that wardrobe. Then lighting. Oh, the pressure of lighting. I feel like, what is it with lighting and this pressure to like get it right? So we've got 2 pendants and 2 wall lights. Wall lights, I'm pretty sure, annoyingly, I got all my tabs up ready for this segment, and then I haven't got the wall lights up. They are I think they're called the Nemo Appliku. They're the lights that were designed by Charlotte Perry, and they're very understated. You can get them in several different colours, but we think the white would be really nice because they'll kind of just like blend into the walls, and then when they're on, there's just like this really nice subtle glow, and you can kind of adjust the front of them as well. Pretty set on those. It's the pendant buying. It's just, I feel like, so my dream light is the Ingo Mora flotation. However, it comes in 3 sizes, and I think even the smallest size is just a little bit too big. I think it's like 70 centimetres in diameter. But I really want to try. I want to try it. I really want to see if it could work in that space. But it's finding it in stock in the UK and then finding somewhere that would allow me to return it, I guess. I don't know. And then it's the process of if it doesn't work, then finding another light. Our electrician is ready to second fix pretty much whenever we are. So I feel like even more pressure to get lights selected, but I'm just like, it needs to be the right light. So I'm kind of trying to look for something that I guess, I know Ingo Mora do a very simple paper one. I can't remember the name of it. Obviously I'll put a picture because I don't think I want these type in there because we have them here and I want something a little bit different. And I just, the flotation, it's just beautiful. Damn you for being just maybe a bit too big. So there are other lights that I have looked at, but I came across this Rifa Colonna pendant that looks quite interesting. I like that you can kind of adjust it and have it on the tilt. It's a tough one, very much up in the air with the pendant lights. And then because there's two in there, do we do two the same? Are they different? Yeah, that's something I really need to kind of like think about over the next week because we've lived so long with just the cord with the bulb on in our current spare room. I just don't want that. I want to make decisions so that it feels like a complete room because you get complacent and you live with these things and yeah, I don't want that. In terms of other furniture, there's not really a lot because it is mainly just a wardrobe space. There won't be a huge amount of other pieces of furniture in there. We've got several other pieces in the house that we can shift around and try in there. Obviously cabinet from Cabinet Gate, we'll try that in there. Might put like a little armchair in there in the front space, if you know what I mean. But we've got a few bits in storage that we'll play around with. Randomly, I just thought I'd show you the fantasy oven on my wish list. I would absolutely love a Bertazzoni double range oven, but we won't be at kitchen stage for at least another 2-3 months, and even then, we're going to be going to curries. We are not going to be buying like a Bertazzoni double range oven, but it sits there on the wish list. One can dream. It's so beautiful, and I think that is the style of oven that we will be searching for. Speaking of kitchens, actually, and this is something that is so not a priority, but I would absolutely love like a full set of David Mellor cutlery. I've got a few teaspoons. I've got like 3 teaspoons and I love them, specifically from the Minimal collection. I would just, a full set of David Mellor. I bought Dean a David Mellor teapot and mug, milk jug for Christmas, was it Christmas a couple of years ago? Along with the toaster rack, and I just love. So it would be great to have some David Mellor cutlery, but that is like, it's just not a priority. Okay, I feel like that was short, snappy, so you can kind of get a bit more of the vision. Yeah, I hope that was interesting. I just got some fabric samples from Slow Living. Look how cute the sticker is of the sofa bed. When we were looking online, I liked the look of this one. It's probably looking a little bit grey on the camera, but it's more of a sort of brown colour. And then these two lighter fabrics. This has almost like a contrasting weave. I don't know if that's showing up. Whereas this is more of it's just all one colour. We're going to go for walnut wood, I think. So I'm leaning towards this. Now that we know that we want the walnut, I think the contrast of the dark wood with this lighter fabric would be really nice. Yeah, it finally feels like things are coming together now. It's like sofa bed. I'm going to order lights, radiators, etc, etc. Good morning from me in my very fancy wool robe. My teeth are so sensitive right now. The dentist was like, you might start to feel a bit of sensitivity after 3 to 4 days. It's been one evening. My teeth hurt so much. So I'm going to go get the sensitive toothpaste that they recommended in case I do experience sensitivity, because even drinking like, where is it? Yeah, even drinking like, not even like really, really cold water, drinking just cool water hurt quite a bit this morning. And I imagine this will just continue throughout the whole teeth whitening process. The sun is shining though. Very, very pleased. We've had 2 sunny days in a row, which is just glorious. What a difference a week makes. I feel like a new woman this week. Things are going well. I've been productive. I just ordered the wall lights for the spare room. They do have a 3-week lead time. I searched high and low for somewhere that had them ready to be shipped. But because we're having the hardwired version, not the cable version, they are made to order. But I'm hoping they might get them done in less than 3 weeks, fingers crossed. Wood samples, they're all ordered for the floor. What else? I've got to order radiators today. Plumber's coming round just to have a look at the room, to kind of let us know, or got, you know, oh, door, hold on. Yeah, plumber will come round today and let us know kind of roughly what size radiators we should get. I don't know what the technical term is, but they kind of calculate, they look at the size of your room and they calculate the heat output you need, and then they give you a radiator size. I'm hoping we don't need radiators that big because that room is so well insulated. Hopefully we can get away with just 2 small radiators underneath the windows. And then, what's the other thing? Radiators, floor samples, wall lights. Oh yeah, Dean texted me literally like half an hour ago saying that the plasterer will come tomorrow. Didn't think this was going to happen until end of next week. And I think I said in one of the previous vlogs, like, plaster is a finish, you know? After plaster, it's paint. So I cannot wait. I'm so excited to see that room plastered. So yeah, by this time next week, that should all be fully plastered. And then, then I have to make the decision of paint, which I am not the best at making decisions quickly. I get paralysed by choice because there's just too much out there. And I also just get paralysed by this fear of making the wrong choice, particularly with paint. But I feel like, I think I said this already, like, tempted to just do schoolhouse white. That's what we've got in this room. It's what we've got in the hallway and the other spare room. But because that room is dual aspect, it has 3 windows in it, 2 of which are dual aspect, it gets a lot of light throughout the whole day. And sometimes when there is a lot of light on schoolhouse white, it can lean quite sort of like yellowy with a slight green undertone. Although looking at it today, like, it's pretty sunny right now and it's really nice. So I don't know if I want it like really, really warm because we're having oak windows, and then we'll have a warm toned wood for the wardrobe, and then there will be the oak floor. I don't know. I was also looking at, I think it was Wimborne white. We have strong white in our lounge, which is quite a bit grey in that room because it doesn't get a lot of sun. So I could try strong white up there because it gets more light. Schoolhouse white just works really well with our floors as well. So our floors are pine, but they've been here for so long. So they're quite aged. We sanded them back and then we put Osmo Raw on them. So we will never really be able to recreate this floor. And it just looks great with schoolhouse white. Whereas in that new room, the floor is going to be slightly different because it will be a light oak. So perhaps what I'll do actually, sorry, I'm completely brain dumping on you right now because I've not actually properly thought about this. Once the wood samples arrive, I'm going to sit those next to the paint samples and see how they work together. Or it might be that I get schoolhouse white, you know, a patch of it on the wall and it looks great. But I just don't want to like get myself into that situation where I've got about 20 different paint samples on the wall and they all look similar and I can't pick between one. So I'm kind of just going to pick, I'll test schoolhouse white, I'll test strong white, and then maybe a couple of others from Flower and Ball, but I'm not getting into that. Like I did this with the bathroom and the lounge actually. Just had so many paint samples on the wall, and then in the end you just kind of become a bit blind to it and you just can't really make a decision. So yeah, lots of productive things happening. Signing off the vlog with a very badly lit update of the wardrobe room because it's like 3:30 and the light's gone. But the plaster, is it all done now in this section?
Yes.
What? Oh man, it looks so bad on iPhone. This is the whole front section plastered. There we go, put it on 0.5 just to make it look even worse. So that was done a few days ago, which is why it's all light and dried. Dark stuff is fresh. Oh, it looks so good. Shadow gap looks nice as well, doesn't it?
It looks really good.
So then tomorrow,
That whole room.
this whole room gets done. And then that is it. Plaster done until we get the windows, and then the reveals will need to be done. But we just thought, why wait until the windows arrive? Let's get as much plaster as possible. So I probably won't do a vlog now for a couple of weeks because I want to be able to show as much of an update on this room as possible. So hopefully we will have we will definitely have painted.
Painted.
Radiators will be in.
Maybe floor down.
Potentially floor down.
Potentially windows.
Potentially even windows. They could call us up and be like, they're done, guys. So, yeah, it could be a massive update in the next vlog.
It's a room.
It's a room. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Right. See you all in the next vlog. Goodbye.
Bye.